no skills. Just like I'm going to give you $35 because you got no skills. But I only need you for that one day. You're going to have to take your chances tomorrow and hope somebody like me picks you up again and gives you another $35 or $40 job. He'll work for $7 and how many cents? Well, let's keep it straight at $7, okay? Just for sakes. And if you multiply 8 times 7, how much is that? How much? And he worked all day. But you see, he ain't taking $56. That's a lie. How much is he going to take home? No. Why $40? If he made $56, how come he's taking $40? Taxes, Social Security, health care, whatever he's going to have to pay. Child support, he's taking $10 home. Okay, guys, this is what I am trying to lead, and you guys understand that you have to come to school. Because this guy is out there on 17th Street, and he'll work half a day for $35, $40. Well, this guy is working all day, and he's taking home how much? Well, but he'll take about $40, $45. He made $56. He's going to have to pay Uncle Sam here, the social and the health care and all that. So he goes home with $40. 45, isn't it the same amount he made?
Yeah. But he has a for sure job.
It don't make no difference. Because he might not want to work all day. But when the hunger pains come, it's going to force him to try to get anything. And usually they do. Every day some of these guys will get an odd job. Now, if he had a little bit more skills, he wouldn't be on 17th Street. He'd be in front of Home Depot in McAllen. Why? Different class of people. Yeah. This guy's at Home Depot. They can know how to lay brick. They can know how to put cement. They can remove a sink. Or it's a different workforce. The 17th Street people, they do know nothing other than to make a hole, stretch a fence, clean a tree. But the other guys, this one here, he hangs out in front of Home Depot. The guy's got white pants because he's ready to paint in case he needs to paint. He's ready to do this and that. And he's got a little pouch of tools. Well, that guy ain't got no tools. What I'm trying to say, guys, is you're going to have to really, really go to school. Otherwise, you'll be fighting with this guy on 17th Street to get that odd job. Or this guy. And even if you get a job and you have no skills, you'll be working twice as hard for the people that really don't really want to work. Because he figures if he works 3 or 4 days out of the week, it's okay. It's almost $100, tax-free. So I'm hoping I'm making my point out is not to make fun at nobody, but you got to understand that the life and the days that you're living in is not the same days that I was living in. See, when I was young, you could do things and get away with it. You could go out drinking beer and you would go to jail and that was it. They'd pick you up the next day and they wouldn't affect you. Today, you drink one and you're in trouble, and not only are you in trouble, a huge fine, and then nobody wants to hire you because you got this record. He was arguing with a girlfriend. The girlfriend called the cops, and he's got a record now for what? Violence, domestic violence. Who's going to want to hire him now?
I would.
Well, if he's looking for a bodyguard, maybe.
I need to go make a fence back.
Okay, guys. What I'm trying to say, guys, that seriously, TSTC, like I tell you, it's a technical school. Here's where you come and you develop and you learn skills. And they're applicable across, whether it be in the medical field, whether it be in the dental field, whether it be in any field. It's a skill that you possess. They're going to hire you because of what you know, what these things can do. Okay? If you're here today, I guarantee you, a little survey right off the bat. I'm big with surveys. When was the last time that one of you guys went out to Barnes & Noble?
What's that?
Barnes & Noble, guys, only 2 people. We have like 20 people here, and only 2 people raise their hand. And the other one says, what is that? That only tells me one thing, guys, that You're not readers, because you won't find me at Barnes & Noble myself. I'm not a reader, okay? What I am is a gift that God gave me, and that's working with my hands. Assembling and disassembling, putting together. You know, there'll be a nut left over. Why? Because I'm not a reader. I won't even read the instructions. And that's the reason, because majority of us are not readers. We won't see ourselves at Barnes & Noble. Now, it's not a club, eh? It's a bookstore. Because he'd be looking for one tomorrow. I heard Barnes & Noble gets pretty nice on Fridays. No, it's not a bar. It's a bookstore. People that love to read will go to Barnes & Noble and spend there half a day, you know. You know, oh my God, it's getting... No, you guys are gifted. Believe me, when every single one of you was made, you were equipped to whatever you were going to need in this world. And believe me, most of you guys has got skills, but you're not aware of it. Your skills is working with your hands. That's the skills God gave you. But we're not aware. We don't know that. Okay? You got to have some skills, dude. If you can drive and stay in the same lane, that's a skill. You see him on the freeway, 85 miles an hour, and
I drive with the toe, with your kid in the front and the windshield,
and the kid in the back window go, eh. What I'm saying, guys, that there is not one person here that did not get equipped when they were born. You all have skills. And if you're here today, more than likely the skills are in your hands. Okay? Find what you like to do. And if you find what you like to do, it'll never become work, because you're doing what you love to do. If you're here and you wind up getting a job that you don't like, you're going to be miserable. But if you find a job because you recognize your skills that God gave you and you start implementing them, you're going to be the happy bird. You're going to see that you're always smiling, you're always giggling, you're always having a joke, you always have a good day. You ever seen me in a bad day?
I haven't. Not yet.
Not yet. You keep it up. You keep it up.
You're not coming up for him.
No, I'm not.
No, I mean, you might see me year after year, and you'll never see me with a sad face, even when I'm going through the worst of the crises at home. But I'm doing what I like to do. Okay? I spent a whole bunch of years repairing medical devices, and I didn't care if there was no help for me. The more machines that I looked at and maintained, I took pride that I saying I'm the only one in this hospital that has almost 1,000 employees, and there is not 1,000 employees that know what I know. I know how every single medical device works, and not even the biggest doctors or the smartest doctors know what I know. I wouldn't possibly do brain surgery on you, but I could work and repair and know how every single device he has works. If you're a nurse and you work in labor and delivery, you're very familiar with labor and delivery equipment. But you don't know nothing about the OR stuff. Or you don't know nothing about the nursery stuff. Or you don't, that's just like that. But as a biomed tech, you are the only one that basically knows how every single medical device, because you look at them on a daily basis. Every month, every 3 months, every 6 months, you're repeatedly having to test it, simulate it, and certify it. So over the years, you become very practical, and you know exactly how this thing works. Okay? And 900 of the employees don't. And that's the reason you become important and very valuable to that hospital. And you know what? There will be other hospitals that want to give a talk to you so you can come over here, because they know what you can do for them. And that's having a skill that you possess, and it is yours. If you leave that facility, that skill goes with you. And they're left out without.
Sir, can you tell them how long it takes to go through the program?
Biomed program is actually, in reality, a year and a half. 5 semesters. This school has a trimester. There's 3 semesters in 1 year. So if you can graduate, and you will graduate in 5 semesters, that means you're here for a year and a half. Now, how come people take 2 years? Sometimes 2.5. Why? Remedials. Okay? They have to take remedials. So if you're taking remedials, you'll be here 6 semesters, 2 years. But guys, that is just the beginning. If you got to pay something, you better pay it now that you're young and that you're not old. Because I'll tell you one thing. Even though I knew some about repairing medical devices, but I wasn't getting paid for it. Until later I went back to school and I picked up this because I was already working on medical devices. I started working on medical devices right out of high school. My job was to go set up medical gas, oxygen concentrators, hospital beds to the elderly. And then later, started working and repairing all stuff, refurbished stuff. And I knew how to do it, but I didn't have the title. As a result, I wasn't getting paid. So when I learned about TSTC bringing a biomed program to the Valley, I jumped on the bandwagon because I have a cousin that says, I'm graduating, I'm going to Houston. What are you going to do in Houston? I'm going to do a co-op. What's that? He says, well, you get to work in a hospital and, you know. And says, well, it's something like what you do. Except I was not working in a hospital. I was working at a refurbished store. So the next day I signed up and I started coming to school. And I was 28 years old. Now, I was 28 years old and I thought I was 35. Obama wants to probably speak to me. I was 28 years old and I thought I was 35. Figure that one out. Why would you think anybody that's 28 years old think he's 35? Because every employee that I had was older than me. Or everybody I worked for was always older than me. I was 18 years old and I was supervisor. I ran so many people. And then I worked in all of the jobs. I was always the more sales. If we're going to sell these, I would always sell the most. I'd always work the hardest. I would always take the lead. I would always be resolving the problem. So after a while, you become the supervisor. So everybody that I ever worked for was never my age. It was the older guys. So after a while, you kind of start thinking like them. So I was 28 and I thought I was 35. And the reason I realized I was not 35 is because the city commissioner, I went to go apply and for a fire department job, and I passed every single test. They gave me the agility test. I passed it, you know, papitas. You know, running up and down with 90 pounds on your back and picking up 120 and just tossing it like that, you know. Papitas for me. 20-foot ladder, you know, just. But they were big boys, bigger than that guy. But my background was clean. I've never been arrested. No DWIs, no drug conviction, no what was that again? Home domestics. Nada. And then I don't get the job. I don't get the job. So I said, well. So what they did was the city commissioner saw me and recognized me, and he said he would be willing to give me a job as an air controller. What the heck is that? Air controller job. An air controller job? What do they do? Well, during the Reagan era, the controllers went on strike, and he says, fire them all and hire your own people. And that's what they were trying to do, train me. And I told the guys, I didn't go out there to find a job as an air controller. I went for fire department. Yeah. So I went home, and I thought I was 35, and I was 28. So what year was you born? What year is today? And I was always 29. You're not 29, you're 28. And then it's decided I was young. I went back to school and worked in the hospitals and also in the medical devices. 2 years, guys. If you need remediation, 2 years, they fly like this.
Could you tell them the salary expectation?
Okay, the salaries. Quickly.
I have my own business.
Most of the graduates in the last year, when they've been graduating and getting jobs, here in the Valley, if you go to this area of the Valley, they want to pay something like $14.95. But you go to the other side of the Valley, and they're starting to pay is $18. You go to Corpus Christi, Houston, Austin, and all those, the pay is $19 and $20 as a biomed tech. You have no field experience, never worked a day in your life. You just come out of high school, you're a graduate. You wouldn't even do the yard work, and these guys are willing to pay you $19 an hour.
I was the one that would cut $2,000.
Yeah.
So yes, the salaries are okay. Okay.
Is there any questions for Mr. Rivera?
Any questions? Any doubts? Anything I said that might have been, misunderstood or no, because we want to clear out things. I'm hoping that you guys come back and go to TSTC and help yourselves, better yourselves, because after all, you're the ones going to be responsible for kids and a wife.
The house, the payment.
Yep, and you need a decent paying job.